Hi traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. So we're going to go ahead and grab the bias chart. We're going to get started here. So let's go over to the euro dollar and let's get our analysis on. So if you guys recall the analysis from the last couple of days, let me go ahead and grab that or remove that. All right, so 106 to 106.60, right? That's the analysis from yesterday. Those are the ranges. And you'll notice that what we did is we took out the resistance by 10 pips. We took out the support by 10 pips, or 9 pips on one side, 9 pips on the other side. How funny is that? Okay, so just enough to probe stops on either side. So the good news is we know what our support and resistance level is today, right? I mean, it's very easy, and the only thing I'm going to make sure we double check here, that 38% retracement is really holding. We just have to mark the exact high. So the exact high would be 106.69. The low here would be 105.92, right? Okay. So Pedro asked, do you see the euro dollar below 106 at the end of the week? Oh God, I have no idea. I'm trying to figure out what it's going to do over the next 10 minutes, Pedro. I don't know. It depends a lot on the data, right? Wouldn't that be the right answer? It depends on the data. We have advanced GDP coming out today, which I think is going to be the mover for today. Tomorrow, we've got unemployment claims, durable goods orders, personal spending and income, some of that wage inflation data that comes out. I mean, that's the data that could really move the market. And I mean, I think the U.S. data has been improving enough to where the euro could push that low. But if we come in below expectations, you know, I'll be completely wrong. So I can say that you could probably have a decent chance because the trend is lower. The only thing that I would caution you here is that we are probably getting fairly oversold, and you're starting to see that relative strength diverge. So there's that risk is starting to increase of a potential snapback. Okay, so I think it's increasing, but it's not enough risk at this point for me to look at the euro and say, oh, I want to be long here. I want to be long because it's so oversold that it's going to bounce. I would actually argue the opposite. We're so close to the support that it feels like we're going to at least take the we're going to take the stops below these lows at some point. So, the problem that I think the euro has right now, and the dollar in general, I mean, I'm noticing a lot of people. I don't know about you guys, and you can feel free to share your observations as well. I see a lot of people saying the dollar is done here. There's a lot of arguments too. The argument is you can see how the dollar is responding recently, due to the FOMC meeting minutes. The Fed's likely to raise rates. It's baked in the cake now. It's all factored in. So I think there's a lot of people trying to short the dollar right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% confident that the dollar is ready to turn. I think that the dollar looks like it's ready to explode higher. Actually, I'd be more willing to argue that point. But and really, I'm regarding the dollar, I'm short the dollar right now. I'm short the dollar yen. I don't have any short euro, short cable, long Swissy. I'm not in any of those trades yet. But Anyway, I think there's a lot of people that are trying to call a dollar top again, and we saw what happened last time. Traders have been trying to do that. You know what I mean? Um, Patrick says dollar longs are a big crowd. They are a big crowd, but they're not as big as they used to be. Keep that in mind. That's I wish I had the COT chart, the most current, but the difference here is, oh yes, the pound's below 151. The dollar longs were more aggressive when we were here than they are where we're at now. That's a big deal. That's a big, that's a big difference. So anyway, okay, let's go into the pound. I don't want to get too caught up in this. Excuse me. So here's the pound dollar, and the pound just broke through 151. Nice. 786 retracement right here. We're here. We could bounce right now, like right now. I wouldn't be playing it to the long side, but I'm just saying that, yeah, we could potentially bounce here. Hold on. Pound yen probably just hit new lows. Oh yeah, it's good. So watch this support here. Let me get rid of this fib. I would not want to be trying to short it here. This is support, guys. What's this low? 150.91. Okay, that's support right here. I'm gonna write it down too. If you guys want to get along the cable, just get along, put 15 pip stop. I'm not doing it, but I'm just saying 150.90. It's key support. Okay, key support. We break through that, then we'll keep an eye on it, because if we break through that, then I would assume that we're targeting 150.25. Okay. But yeah, for those of you that are looking for some sort of some sort of counter trend trade, and you can always get long down here. That's not my cup of tea. Like, but if I was short the cable right now, like short the pound dollar, I'd probably be looking to take some profits here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at resistance. So what is resistance now? Definitely right here, right? Look at that. Stuck it like a pig right there. Previous support, we ran up there and went boop, stopped. So that's 151.55. Yeah, that is resistance. Joe asked, did anyone hear about the discount rate meeting from yesterday? No. No, and it was a closed door meeting, so there was that outside chance that we got some sort of announcement, but no announcement. So because there was no announcement, it was just is what it is. Hopefully, I'm assuming what's going to happen now is that there's a rate hike. It's not just going to be the Fed funds rate hike. Probably the discount rate will be raised as well, but that won't be until December 16th. So, this pound is so weak, so weak. All right, let's take a look at the Swissy. Look at it. I mean, we're there. Crap. I mean, I like it because I'm long the euro pound, but geez, and I'm short the pound yen. But man, let's take a look at that pound yen really quick. I just need to double check something. Oh man, free falling. Okay, let's take this low. Oh god, this pound looks ugly. 50% retracement's about another 30 pips away. My god. Okay. Swissy. Keep an eye on the pound here. Here's a Swissy. So the Swissy, let's see if we can get a pullback to right here. This is support today. 101.20. That's support. It's channel support. Okay. 101.20. So I'm going to just draw this out like this. Okay. So 121.20 if we can get it. 121.20. That should be key support. Resistance right now is 102.20. I know we've been as high as that spike high, but here, I'm just grabbing these lines. Very, very well, very, orderly channel higher. Just the dips are coming in just shy of where my limit orders are, and I have to adjust my limit right now because my limit is still at 1.0080 from the last couple of several sessions since last week. I'm gonna have to adjust that up. 1.02.20. This is, I don't know what the hell I was typing there. 1.0120. There we go. It's bullish. Okay, let's take a look at the yen. So keep an eye on the yen. I'm still short dollar yen. And this is where we trigger a double top. So if we break this 122.20, I think I had it written as 122.25, but 122, yeah, 22. Okay, so 122. Let's just write 122.20. 122.20. If that breaks, then we have a double top. Then I'll be, this will make me really happy if this happens. Okay. That'll target sub 121. And resistance now. I don't know where. Look at oil. Joe said oil wants to rally this morning. It does. It's climbing. It's trying. I don't know where resistance is for the dollar yen. I really don't. So all of this, these hourly wicks in here, I mean, that's probably going to give us some problems. It's just not very far away from where we're at. Then up here at 123 and change, but it's hard to say. The dollar yen. I'm gonna write down 122.80, but it's not major resistance by any stretch of the means. It's just kind of near term. And then 123.10. Okay, we're still in a range environment. Let's go over to the dollar Canadian. So the dollar Canadian's coming off, obviously, as crude oil is staging a bit of a rally here. Now, so let's remove that really quick for now. And you can see how important this 134, like 30 to 50 resistance is. It's huge now. Huge. Especially from the rejection from yesterday. But like there's no indication right now that, you know, that you should be shorting the dollar Canadian other than, you know, oh wow, the pound's breaking. Holy crap, the pound's still breaking. It's breaking down. Oh my god. Look at this thing. What a piece of garbage, which I like. Don't get me wrong. We're just going to have to rewrite things. I'll have to write 120 or 150.25, right? That's it. Look at the pound getting killed. Yes. Look at the euro pound ripping. How many of you guys are long the euro pound? Hold on, I'm going to go back and take a look. Ron says he's been long the euro pound since Moses. Tom, that's great. Alan says I'm up 44 pips. That's awesome. Nigel says I'm long from 70 pence. That's awesome. Serenda's long. Lorraine's long. Great. Awesome, awesome. Long since Moses. That doesn't get any better than that. I'm long since Moses. That's funny. That's some funny crap right there. So our first contention level is we've already just broke through this, which is great. We've already taken that out, which is fantastic. So 71 pence is going to be the 24% retracement. Okay, so this is your first real. For those of you guys that are like, okay, well, I don't think, you know, if you're like, well, I don't think we're going to make it all the way up here, Blake. I think we're going to stop shy of that. Then be careful at the 71 pence level. That's your 24% retracement. It's a round number. Probably going to have a real big difficult time there, you know, over the next day or two. So anyway, Putin's on the wires. Ooh, okay. Jan said. Putin says Russian jet fighter was down on Syrian territory 4 kilometers from Turkish border. Today's loss of warplane is backstabbing. Oof. Russian President Putin says Russian pilot did not threaten anybody. Putin says considers downing of Russian jet a stab in the back. Putin says large amounts of oil from militants in Syria go to Turkey. This is all not good. Not good at all. Putin's pissed. Putin is pissed. New lows, cable. Yeah, new highs euro pound. New lows pound yen. Mm-hmm. Be careful with this Canadian too, because the Canadian's going to be ripped in a couple of different directions. It's going to be it's going to go higher because of risk aversion, but then it's trying to pull lower because of crude oil. So, all right, let's do this. I have to note the Canadian here. Things might get a little volatile. 618 retracement is right here at 133.20. Okay, so that's important. 1.3320. Resistance right now. I don't know. I mean, I'll write down 134.35. Just because when things get a little risk averse, things start spiking. Um, Dollar Canadian can't avoid that. Okay, let's be careful there. Dollar yen's coming off pretty good. Pound yen, we should be right on that support. It's in the 70s. Yep. That 50% retracement is coming into play right now. Turkish Prime Minister Davutoglu says it's Turkey's right to respond if Turkish airspace is violated. Putin says that downing a plane will have serious consequences for Russian and Turkey relations. Today's tragic events will have serious consequences for Turkish ties. Look at the euro pound just ripping. The euro's going to squeeze, guys. Is anybody still long the euro New Zealand? I've been long this stupid thing for like, it seems like forever. I held it because we held these lows, but I've been long this thing forever. It's starting to spike. I actually think I'm going to add to it right now. Thank you very much. Wherever it is. Okay, it's just slightly. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to hold my Aussie Swiss right now. I'm going to take a 13 pip loss in my Aussie Swiss, guys. I don't really want to, as the stock market's weakening, I don't want to be long. So I just closed my Aussie Swiss, just letting you know. Okay. I just close it for a 12 pip loss. When things get a little risk averse like that, I don't want to hold that. It's not comfortable to me. Because the Swiss franc could really start to strengthen here, just like the yen. So you take the Aussie Swiss. Whoops, here it is. You take the Aussie Swiss. This thing, you notice we made a lower high. I was looking at it earlier this morning too. This could end up being a false breakout. So we can end up getting a false breakout, and this thing could come under some pressure here. So yeah, just not too comfortable holding it. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to put you on hold for just a few minutes. When I come back, we'll finish up with the Kiwi Aussie dollar index, and I'm going to look at the peso too. All right, be back in a few. Don't go anywhere. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. Excuse me. You're listening to the Morning Edge webinar. Obviously, we're seeing some continued weakness in the in the cable. Cable's hitting new lows as we speak. Give me 1 second. Okay, well, let's continue on. We're going to go into the Aussie and the Kiwi. I'm going to try to get this done before addressing all your questions, because there's obviously things are on the move right now, so we need to kind of beat feet here, get moving quickly. So here's the Kiwi. Kiwi is getting close to this support again, which this is going to be important. We wrote down, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we wrote down yesterday resistance of being 65.50. Is that correct for the Kiwi dollar? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what we wrote down? 65.50? 65.50. Okay. Thanks, Greg. So we didn't even get close to that. I mean, thanks, Kevin. Okay, so 64.90 is going to be support. I'm still going to write 65.50 because you know the risk here is we get some risk aversion. You know, we start to get risk aversion, and what happens is that the euro could spike higher. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. So if we get some risk aversion, the euro could start spiking, which is going to induce some dollar weakness. Now, let's just say like the euro. I'm just throwing this out there. Like if the euro spikes from 106.50 to 107.50 because the market gets risk averse, the Kiwi dollar may not go from 65 cents to 66 cents. It may go from 65 cents to 65.50. You know what I mean? So obviously the euro would outpace the Kiwi to the upside. But if we do see some dollar weakness, it could produce some dollar weakness here as well. It would just, you know, the euro pound would go higher using that example. So that's why I think we should still mark up 65.50. All right, so 64.90, 64.90, 65.50. That's it for today. 64.90 and then 0.6550. Okay, we are in a range. Okay, let's go over to the Aussie. Now the Aussie's obviously outperforming the Kiwi, and I'll tell you, whoops, that's not what I wanted. That was a slip right there. Typed in the Aussie New Zealand. It's because I'm trading the Aussie New Zealand. Let's delete this. That's obviously big support. I mean, we don't have to. I don't think we have to argue that. 71.55. Okay. The question is, where's the resistance? And so the resistance, as you guys know, is 72.50. That is a downsloping trend line that we're currently. I mean, look, let's go. Just zoom back out on this daily chart. Okay, right? We're basically on that resistance. I mean, you know, you can argue and say, but you know, we're there, and we're basically coming down on that resistance line. Okay, that's all that is. You know, like my drawings might not be perfect. You know, we're basically doing this. Okay, arguably. So we're just knocking our head right against resistance. So what does that mean? 72.50 still is huge, 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 huge resistance. Any which way you slice it. I actually think we'll get stopped short of that, but I'll write down 72.50 just in case, you know, 0.7250, and that's multiple asterisks, because if we break that thing, if we break that, you guys know this Aussie's going to squeeze like it's nobody's business. It really will. It's hard to imagine that the Aussie's going to squeeze like that when there's risk aversion, but look at gold. Dude, if gold rallies like 30 points today, Aussie's probably going to go up. You know what I mean? I mean, people get scared and they start buying gold and silver. I mean, that's what's happening right now. Gold's hitting highs. Silver's hitting highs. Right? Okay. Let's go over to the dollar index. Panos brought this up to me earlier, and Greg was looking at it too in the chat room. We got false breakout in the DAX. which that false breakout right here just recently. Here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That false breakout in the DAX probably caught a lot of people. So just careful. Let's go DXY. All right. Here's the dollar index. 100 is still that resistance. Um, 100 is resistance, support. I mean, yesterday we talked about the gap filling. We did fill the gap yesterday, right? We filled the gap. Let's do a quick fib of low to high. Okay. Um, 38% retracement. That's this right here. That's that spike right there. That's holding this far. So what's the low? 99.46. We're at 99.61. Okay. So dollar index support 99.45. 100. And we're bullish. But the dollar's coming under obviously a little bit of pressure. Okay. Let's go take a look at the peso. Doesn't surprise me that we're getting a little bit volatility here. You can see how the peso just spiked up. You know, once we start getting comments from Russia, peso spiked up. I'm tempted to go long the US dollar Mexican peso. Really tempted. Wow, look at gold. John says security alert in Paris again. Police evacuated Place de la République in case of suicide bomber. Oh, great. Fantastic. That's fantastic. Freaky morning. Pound new lows. All right. So I'm sorry. We got to go back to the peso. So peso support is yesterday's lows. If you guys want to go long the peso here, I mean, the risk is below 2 days ago's lows. 1645. Resistance at 1665. I mean, it's right on support. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not going to do it just yet, but 1645, 16.66. Okay. US dollar Norwegian krona. Choppy. I don't think there's much to do right now with that. Let's go over to the Swedish krona. Choppy as well. range is, or this thing's going to be prepped to break out soon. All right, I think your bias chart's done. This Euro pound looks bullish, guys. All right, here's your bias chart. I'm going to take some comments. Sorry, I'm just watching futures and everything. There's your bias chart. You guys are good to go. All right, let's take some questions this morning. I'm going way back, so just you guys bear with me.